Vehicle is ready to launch.
Mission Director.
You have permission to launch.
Proceeding with the count. Verified T is set for 17, 7
Polling is complete. The ULA launch team and the Space Force mission director go for launch. From T-minus 4 minutes until launch, you will listen to Scott Barney and the team performing the final steps in the mission. Hear the team call out the Atlas and oxygen is secured, followed about a minute later by the call out. completion of the early phase of today's flight, and all systems continue to operate nominally. The mission is currently in the first Centaur engine burn. Next event, Centaur main engine cutoff, will occur in approximately 10 minutes. Lockheed Martin builds the SBIRS satellite for the U.S. Space Force. Here's a video highlighting the power of these satellites. operational, the Space Delta 14 at Buckley Air Force Base in Colorado controls the SBIRS GEO Flight satellite. Let's take a look at a short video message.
I'm Second Lieutenant Nicholas McDaniel.
Space Delta 4. Faster, more accurate missile surveillance capabilities. This is a step forward for the future warfighter. Space Delta 4 since 2017. This historic event the launch of SBIRS GEO Flight-5 will greatly contribute to the mission of protecting the United States.
The launch of this satellite further proves that the space enterprise is here to stay, and we can't wait to gain operational control of this satellite to support our nation and our allies. Name is Muda. We see the world.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T plus 11 minutes 30 seconds. The Atlas sent our second stage and SBIRS GEO satellite currently located over the Atlantic Ocean west of Africa. Next event, first Centaur main engine cutoff in a few minutes, followed by deployment of Easy 3 and Easy 4. Once again, here's Patrick Moore.
As expected, and telemetry quality continues to look good. Now coming up on 12 minutes into flight. Approximately 3 minutes now remaining in the burn. And Centaur is now 125 miles in altitude, 2,200 miles downrange distance, traveling at 17,000 miles per hour. Twelve minutes, 30 seconds into flight. Chamber pressure on the RL-10 has continued to look stable throughout this burn. Now passing 13 minutes into flight. And just over 2 minutes now remaining in the burn. Centaur systems all continue to operate normally. And continuing to see some periodic thruster activity on the reaction control system as expected. Propellant utilization system is continuing to control appropriately in the closed loop mode. Body rates remain stable. Now coming up on 14 minutes into flight. And about 1 minute now remaining until main engine cutoff. Chamber pressure continues to look good on the RL-10. Body rates remain stable. About 35 seconds now remaining until engine cutoff. And we're seeing good pressures on helium and hydrogen storage bottles. And standing by for engine cutoff shortly. And we have MECO main engine cutoff. Body rates look good. Centaur now engaging 4S settling as expected. And standing by for CubeSat deployment shortly. We have good indication of separation of the TDO4 CubeSat from the aft bulkhead carrier. Now 16 minutes 30 seconds into flight. Centaur has resumed 4S settling following successful separation of the aft bulkhead carrier payloads.
I'm joined now by Lieutenant Bryce Leader, EZ3 and EZ4 Program Manager. Lieutenant, thanks for joining me. We just saw the successful deployment of EZ3 and EZ4. Congratulations.
Hey, thanks so much. It's such an exciting event to watch. I mean, fantastic to watch, fantastic separation. Really, just thanks to our partners here at Belay and Parsons for all the hard work they put in so far. It's looking good, so thanks again.
Excellent. As EZ3 and EZ4 Program Manager, what's your role?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I want to point out I'm the Space Force Program Manager now, which is it's kind of a big deal for me, just transitioning recently. But I'm based out of the Mission Manifest office, which is a subset of SMC out of Los Angeles Air Force Base. And I know that's kind of a mouthful, but pretty much what we do is we try to maximize the capability of the launch vehicle through multi-manifesting. And we've done this on 3 missions so far.
Who built TDO3 and 4?
Yeah, so Team 3 and 4 was built by DNet Integration and Design. It's a small company out of Canaveral, Colorado. One thing I do want to point out, though, is one of the partnerships we had on this mission was with the United States Air Force. It was the first time working with them, and it was a great experience. Really hope we can make it experience.
I bet that was a total treat.
Oh, it was so great. We actually got to get them out here for the EZ3 and EZ4 match meeting, so I actually got to watch them full on the flight and stuff. So that's really exciting. And as an Air Force Academy alumni myself, I couldn't be more excited to see the next generation of officers, Air Force and Space Force.
Cool.
Yeah, go Falcons.
So we've heard the terms EZ3 and EZ4 and TDO3 and 4. Can you explain the difference?
Yeah, it's a great question. A lot of people often get this confused. So EZ3 and 4, each Easy Flight system is exactly that, a complete flight system that's strapped onto the aft end of the Centaur, whereas TDO3 and 4 are the specific satellites that are integrated into the Easy
What's different from EZ3 and EZ4 compared to previous missions?
Yeah, so I love that you asked this question because it lets us brag a little bit about our capabilities in the mission manifest office. So the first 2 missions we had are very similar to the configuration we have in EZ3 and 4. The main difference, though, is that we actually have twice the amount of satellites in this mission compared to our previous 2 missions, which were HF5 and HF6. Another fun fact is this is actually our second time doing the U.S. Space Force mission, so it's awesome that we're building our capability as we expand into the Space Force as well.
So has the National Security Space Launch Program ever deployed the EZSATs prior to the primary mission?
Yeah, so actually on that HF5 and HF6 mission that I mentioned before, we deployed both of those satellites before the primary payload as well. And why that's important is because certain satellites have specific requirements that our warfighters need. So ultimately we're getting critical capabilities to our warfighter when and where they need it.
So what's next for the mission management?
Well, we're pretty busy here, Dylan. We got quite a few missions coming up. But one I want to highlight is a partnership with NASA on the Landsat 9 observatory mission. We're actually populating the entire SBIRS. We're going to have up to 13 satellites. Yeah, so that's launching out of the West Coast in September here, so we're really looking forward to that one.
Well, thanks, Lieutenant. We appreciate the details and your perspective on this very interesting program. I'm sure you're anxious to get back to following EZ3 and EZ4. But if you'd like to stay with me for just a few minutes, we have something coming up that you might appreciate. Because this mission is so important to our national security and to the safety of our troops, we want to honor our military by sharing photos of service members that were contributed by our Twitter followers. Each of these photos is a person that is near and dear to their family and friends. We thank them for their service. We thank you for your service as well, and also thanks for joining me. Let's take a look at that time. What a great tribute, and thanks to all, again, that have served and continue to serve our country. Transporting the Space Force's SBIRS GEO 5 satellite to the launch site here at Cape Canaveral required collaboration with the Air Force. Let's take a look at an interview with one of the pilots.
The space mission is essential to everything the military does, whether it be GPS, whether it be in the missile detection, whether it be really mapping anything. So the C-5 is a special aircraft because it can fit outsized cargo, meaning the design of the plane allows it to hold things that most normal planes wouldn't usually be able to hold. Most planes need palletized cargo, whereas we can fit larger cargo such as helicopters, tanks, and satellites. So yeah, this is a special mission because we only have two C-5s capable of doing that mission, and we don't do it very often, so it's a privilege to be able to contribute to the space mission. So in order to prepare for these space missions, we have to, as an aircrew, be very cautious and prepare much more thoroughly in regards to turbulence, in regards to weather, routing, making sure that no hazards are going to be in the way that might potentially damage the satellite or the container that it's in. It could damage the satellite, so we need to be very cautious on especially important missions. We even have another C-5 going in front of the C-5 carrying the satellite just to scout out the air ahead of us if there's any turbulence or weather that we need to avoid. And we'll be trying our best to make this landing as smooth as possible in order to prevent it from getting damaged. So yeah, the loadmasters are essential in this. They're the ones who basically run everything to do with the cargo. They are the most, I would call them the most essential part of the C-5, or of the satellite and space mission, just because it takes usually up to a day, 2 days in order to safely and correctly put these containers on. So the amount of expertise that it takes our loadmasters and our engineers in order to get these things on safely and correctly is astounding. Working with the civilian community and the space community in order to move these satellites is just a great experience and a different experience than what we're used to working with military only.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T+25 minutes and 20 seconds. We are a few minutes away from the restart of the Centaur main engine. Let's go back to Patrick Moore.
Centaur systems are continuing to operate nominally. And vehicle is continuing the PTC roll, and we are continuing to see the periodic thruster activity unsettling as expected. Now passing 26 minutes into flight. And 5 minutes now remaining in the coast. Now passing 27 minutes into flight. Centaur systems all continuing to operate nominally throughout this coast. Vehicle is continuing the PTC roll. Vehicle body rates remain stable. Storage bottle and tank pressures continue to look good. Main vehicle battery temperatures and voltages also look good. RCS loop temperatures are continuing to track very closely with the storage bottle temperature as expected. Now passing 28 minutes into flight. And Centaur should be beginning to conclude the PTC roll in preparation for the next burn. And we are seeing the roll come down to conclude the PTC. And Centaur now adjusting its attitude. Now passing 29 minutes into flight. And in a little over 2 minutes, the Centaur engine will ignite to begin the second burn of today's mission. 23 seconds prior to ignition, the RL-10 will begin the fuel and oxidizer pre-start sequence. This burn should last approximately 3 minutes and 20 seconds. And body rates have all milled out now in preparation for the burn. And Centaur now engaging 100% 4S settling. And just under 1 minute now remaining until engine restart. Tank pressures are increasing in preparation for the burn. And we have fuel pre-start on the RL-10. "15 minutes until main engine start. And we have LOX pre-start. Standing by for ignition. We have ignition and full thrust on the RL-10. Chamber pressure looks good. Body rates look good.
As Patrick Moore just reported, the Centaur main engine has been restarted for a second engine burn. This burn will last approximately 3 more minutes. The Atlas V continues to travel in a southeasterly direction. Following our next event, MECO 2, or cutoff of the Centaur RL-10 engine, the Atlas V will cross over the African continent where the trajectory will switch to an easterly heading. Separation of the SBIRS GEO 5 satellite will occur over the Indian Ocean east of Madagascar. Let's go back to Patrick Moore.
Chamber pressure throughout the burn. Vehicle autopilot is controlling well, seeing good stable body rates in the closed loop control. PU system operation looks good. And 2 minutes now remaining in the burn. Body rates remain stable, and all 10 engine operating parameters continue to look good throughout this burn. And about 100 seconds now remaining in the burn. And seeing a good constant acceleration of the vehicle during this burn. EU system operation continues to look nominal, and we are continuing to see periodic thruster activity on the RCS system as expected. Loop temperature staying close to bottle temps. 1 minute now remaining in the burn. Body rates continue to look stable as vehicle is controlling in closed loop. Now 30 seconds remaining in the burn. Centaur systems all continue to look good throughout this burn. PU's gone to open loop in preparation for MECO and standing by for main engine cutoff shortly. And we have MECO main engine cutoff. RCS is now at 100% settling, as expected. System response looks good. And Centaur is now turning to the separation attitude.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T plus 34 minutes and 55 seconds. We just heard the call for successful second main engine cutoff. Our final mark event in today's show, spacecraft separation, will occur in approximately 12 minutes. Joining me now is Lieutenant Adam Farah. Lieutenant, thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Dylan. Pleasure being here. Seeing launch was awesome, and I'm excited.
Awesome.
Yeah.
As program manager for the 5th and 6th SBIRS satellites, what are your responsibilities? What's your understanding?
Yeah, great question. So I'm an acquisitions officer in the Air Force, and I'm part of the Systems Engineering, Integration, and Test Integrated Product Team, or IPT, for GEO SBIRS 5 and 6. So with this, my responsibilities, I manage risk associated with the program, I review earned value management data, I plan the early on-orbit test campaign, and I contribute to the launch readiness review process. And with these responsibilities, my day can get pretty busy. An average day, I reach out to individual IPTs with regards to risk. I review contractor data, I attend virtual meetings, and then I report my findings or assessments to upper leadership. But I really enjoy my work, and I really enjoy working with the contractor and government team that I work with, and it's been awesome, and I think we've done a great job adapting to this all telework environment.
Oh, it's been a great challenge year.
For everyone.
So we've heard a lot about the SBIRS satellite today. Can you give us some additional background on the SBIRS capabilities and development?
Yeah,
program?
absolutely. So the Defense Support Program, or DSP, was the original missile warning capability for the United States. The first satellite was launched in 1970, and the last satellite was launched in 2007. And in the span, there were a total of 23 DSP satellites put in the constellation. Like I said earlier, this was the original missile warning capability fielded by the United States, and this is where SBIRS fits in. So SBIRS was designed to replace the DSP constellation, and now in the missile warning constellation, we have DSP satellites, we have HEO or highly elliptical orbit satellites, and we have GEO or geosynchronous Earth orbit satellites. Now, in regards to evolution, and with GEOs 1 through 4, and then 5 and 6. So 1 and 4 were built identical to each other, and 5 and 6 are functional equivalents of each other. However, they both have a design change in the bus, as well as minor design changes to account for material and parts obsolescence.
the SBIRS program benefit the warfighter?
Yeah, great question. I think that's really important that that gets answered because ultimately our program is here to support the troops and to defend the nation. And in today's global environment, the number of threats is greater than ever, and these threats are evolving at a very fast pace. So it's important that the military and our capabilities like missile detection, missile deterrence on a global scale are, it's important that these are where they are and where we need them to be. And that's where, again, SBIRS fits in. So we provide that global, persistent, infrared surveillance capability that the troops on the front line, as well as our nation, need to defend against this ever-changing 21st century threat environment. And again, but I just want to bring in a real-world situation where this capability helped, or actually shows how we help troops on the front line. So in January of 2020, Iran attacked Al-Assad Air Base in Iraq, where U.S. troops were stationed, and space operators were able to, using SBIRS capabilities, were able to detect the threat, warn U.S. troops who are in the direct path of the missile. Due to the early detection, no U.S. troops were harmed or killed, and I think, again, this just shows how our capabilities are actually helping the troops on the front line.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Very important.
So obviously, liftoff is super exciting to see. We're just a couple minutes away now from spacecraft separation. What are you feeling right now?
Yeah, so that was awesome. That was the first lift or launch that I've ever been a part of. And I just want to say congratulations to everyone who's gotten this far and worked with the team. And I know the mission isn't over, but still getting here is such an accomplishment. Watching everything come together and now being moments away from spacecraft separation is amazing. And however, this is only the beginning of the SBIRS mission. So once spacecraft separation happens, then we need to make sure we get in our desired orbit, as well as make sure the satellite is functioning properly. So we start with a series of liquid apogee engine burns to get into our circularized orbit, and then we turn on the satellite, turn on the payload, and make sure that, again, the systems are functioning properly. And once all of this happens and we're in our desired orbit and in the constellation, then that's when the SBIRS mission actually begins. Now, another reason why I'm really excited and why everyone's super excited is because this is the first time in the Space and Missile Systems Center history that Space Force Acquisitions officers have sat on console for day one. So for SMC, for the Space Force, for the nation, and for our program, it's just a remarkable accomplishment to get to this point, and I couldn't be happier. And I know everyone on our team feels that same way.
Well, thanks for sharing your perspective. It sounds like you have a really cool job. And appreciate you talking with us here as we get closer to SBIRS separation. Hopefully you can hang out with me here in the booth for just a couple more minutes.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere.
Awesome. This is Atlas Mission Control at T plus 41 minutes. We're approaching spacecraft separation here in just a few minutes. Let's go back to Patrick Moore for the last call of the afternoon.
Now just over 90 seconds remaining until spacecraft sep. Centaur systems all continue to look good. And vehicle is now beginning to arrest its roll in preparation for the separation. Now 1 minute remaining until spacecraft sep. And roll rate is nulled out. And Centaur now adjusting roll rate for spacecraft sep. "20 seconds to separation. Centaur now spinning up in preparation for separation, standing